Did you know that even the cells in your body need to rest sometimes? I'm Janice Cornetti, and I'm here to talk to you about what is interphase. Well, interphase is part of something that's called the cell cycle. When scientists were first investigating how cells work, they really considered a cell cycle to be the time from one cell splitting and making more cells to the next time the cell split again. But as it often happens in science, they've done more research and they've realized that many of the important functions that happen in the cell actually happen in between the cell splitting during something that's called interphase. Interphase is where the cell reproduces more DNA. Well, that's important for the cell beginning to split again. It's also sometimes when the cell is doing some rest and repair and even metabolism. So all of that happens in between the cell splitting. So once interphases happen, and interphase is really the bulk of the cell cycle, the cell is now prepared to split in half, make more cells, and then those two new cells will both go into interphase, resting, rebuilding, multiplying their DNA so that they are ready to split again into more cells and have the cell cycle continue, providing you with new cells in your body. I'm Janice Cornetti, and this is What is Interphase.
Metaphase, the second stage of mitosis, is defined as the stage of mitosis when all the chromosomes are lined up along the center or equator of the cell. Throughout this short 5 to 10 minute stage, the chromosomes are attached to the spindle fibers, and the centromeres that bind the sister chromatids together split apart.
The sister chromatids are released from each other, each becoming a full-fledged chromosome. They are moved toward opposite poles of the cell, pulled along the spindle fibers attached to them. At the same time, overlapping spindle fibers that are not attached to chromosomes continue to lengthen, pushing the poles farther apart.
These models depict the final stage of mitosis, that is telophase. In telophase, we see that the nuclear membrane is going to then begin to reform, that these dense chromosomes are going to uncoil, and the cell is going to do a number of things. It starts to form a cell membrane to divide the two daughter cells distinctly from one another, and they begin to pinch off or bud off from one another. If we look at the same events basically in the light tan models, we see again the gray nuclear membrane is reforming. The chromosomes here are going to begin to uncoil. The mitotic spindle fibers are going to be breaking down, and as they do so, the nuclear membrane is going to surround the chromosomes. The cell then is going to then enter into what we call cytokinesis, and in this model it's pretty easy to see that these are two separate cells. There are cell membranes that separate them, and they have completed the process of mitosis by cytokinesis, or the movement of these two cells apart from one another. But again, please keep in mind that mitosis occurs very quickly, and dividing those events into distinct phases is difficult, but look for the distinguishing characteristics as they've been reviewed.